Oh my God, we gotta go. Hey, I'm Wish. On behalf of Hot 97.5, we're at Fort Abraham Lincoln. I've got Matt here, and of course the Haunted Fort is going to be underway in just a few weeks. And well, the reason we do the Haunted Fort here is because this is actually really haunted.
It is, yes. You know, we're in our stables right now. Not one of the buildings that's part of Haunted Fort, but one of the buildings that's had probably some of the higher paranormal activity out here.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that happen in here, because I know that people have heard some things.
Yeah, well, see, this building was reconstructed in 2002, and it was one of the 6 stables that made up this area next to the Missouri River. Historically, the stables were kind of the darker part of the fort. You had a lot of soldiers that would spend a lot of time down here, obviously with their horses, things like that, but in terms of the psychological turmoil of being on a military post during that time period, unfortunately, many men hung themselves down here. And so you have some of those legends and stories that come out of this particular facility. And so that's where you get some of the paranormal happenings that happen here. In fact, going all the way back to the mid-1800s, the Tribune at the time actually hired a medium from out east to come out here and try to connect with some of the spiritual phenomena that were happening while the fort was even active. So this is more than 100 years ago. There were already stories coming out of these buildings that these buildings were haunted by spirits of soldiers that were once here.
Now, of course, you mentioned these are the stables, so horses were here. There's no horses here anymore, but some people think that there are horses here. Why is that?
Once in a while, we get, this is open to the public, the visitors come down here, and obviously they don't know the whole story or background of this particular building. And so oftentimes we'll get questions whether or not we store horses currently in here because they either heard a horse or they heard sounds of it kicking at the ground. The stable, the stable bunks right here where horses are, oftentimes horses would, keep aside, and so you hear that once in a while down here as well. So those types of eerie stories come out of this building, even from visitors that have, spent some time in here looking at the displays and checking out the building.
Well, this is just one of the many haunted areas here at Fort Abraham Lincoln, and I'm sure, Matt, you have plenty more to show us.
Oh, well, we're going to visit many more and check out more of the stories from